There was a movie a while back that kind of created its own cult following, if you will, especially among guys, and especially among guys who like to be macho and masculine. The key line from the movie several times was repeated. He was training these guys to be bouncers in a movie called Roadhouse. And these guys were ready for a fight. They wanted to get physical. And he would say to them, no, be nice. And they're like, well, what if he does this? And he'd say, be nice. Well, what if he does this and this and this and this and this? And he said, be nice. And they said, well, is there ever a time when we don't be nice? He said, I'll let you know when that is. But you'll still be nice about not being nice. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. There are a lot of people who find themselves in circumstances and situations dealing with difficult people. Just recently on the news, there was a drive-by shooting. A guy had a mark in his forehead where apparently they had cut somebody off in traffic. They didn't even realize it. It was a tiny little fender bender. They both pulled over to the side of the road. The guy got out of the car, walks up to the car that tapped his, and starts firing rounds into the car with a woman, a baby, and a husband. Then gets back in his car and drives away. Okay, this is a person who's not stable and has lost complete control of their temperament in a difficult situation. And it's really easy to see this guy's gone. But you have to ask yourself, is there a chance that you could be pushed to the edge and react in a similar way, maybe not with a firearm, but with vile, vicious, hateful words that are like firing shots at the people you work with? Like that woman who threw the milkshake back at the woman at the drive-thru because it was the wrong size. Rather than just exchanging it for the right size, she throws it back in and makes a huge mess and ruins somebody's day. And I mean, are we that on edge in our lives that every little disappointment? I mean, we're not talking about a tragedy, the wrong size milkshake, or the fender bender on the road. We're not talking about a life and death situation. We're not talking about the world is going to come to an end if we don't resolve this right now and I have to win. We're talking about a little inconvenience. Some annoyance. Like that person who gets in front of you in traffic and drives for 5 miles with their turn signal on. Their left turn signal. While they're in the right lane. And you don't know if they're changing lanes or what. And then the next thing you know, they're slamming on the brakes to turn to the right. And they still have their left turn signal on. Okay, those things are frustrating. Those things are annoying. Those things are not worth shooting somebody over or throwing things at their car. But see, when you're a leader, you've got to realize that it's not just the big glaring road rage incidences. It's not just the wrong food at the drive-thru incidences. It's not just the whole job was messed up and we're going to have to do this thing over again kind of instances. It's the everyday stopping by the coffee pot, walking past the water cooler, bumping into people in the hallway. Believe it or not, I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. I'm very gregarious and I do talk to strangers fairly easily, but for the most part, I like to sit in a crowd and stay to myself. I also know that I have a very large personality, and in certain environments, that's just too much. So almost always, especially in a new environment, I will dial it way back. And some people read that as unfriendly. Honestly, I have a hard time with the balance because those people that know me, the people that I interact with on a regular basis, they see me kind of in the middle. Not always really quiet, not always really outgoing. But you've got to have a larger than life personality to take over a room with 2,500 high school students in it. I can do that. I can MC an event with 40,000 outside people running in the mud. I've done that. But it's a different thing to be able to modify your personality when all of the circumstances are a disaster, when the people around you are being difficult and unpleasant, to be able to move into that moment and be nice. To just be nice. To keep a smile on your face. To control your demeanor. Because you can't control the circumstances, but you can control how you react to them. And I'll make you this promise. It is easier to get flies with honey than it is with vinegar. And if you will be nice, if you will be friendly, if you will be kind, you will find that the level of your leadership influence and impact will rise exponentially. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.